Welcome back to the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I am the host of the show. I'm here with Frank Sinclair, and let's get started. We don't have any ads today, so the ads for this episode, I guess, is the show itself. In the description of the show or in the links, we have a GoFundMe where you can donate and help support the show, or we have advertising space that you can buy for the show. We have month-long deals, 6-month-long deals, and year-long deals. We're gonna change it to like per episode advertisements.
Yes.
So right now those are stills. Like if you lock in the year-long deal, and if I decide to do 3 times more episodes, you get 3 times more advertising at the same rate.
No.
So we got some good values going on. Like I have those values at first because I want to bring that value up front because we're a startup podcast essentially.
Absolutely.
So gotta have a little bit more to offer than just a regular ad.
Right.
And I would like to shout out to Teresa Garcia. She donated to the show today.
Thanks, Teresa.
Yeah, she donated $111. And,
wow.
That's fantastic. and yeah, so let's get started with the show. We'll roll the intro music. This is a weekly show where I interview business owners and entrepreneurs from Colorado Springs, in Colorado Springs, doing things in the community of Colorado Springs. All right, Frank, so how's it been?
Oh, good, man. Good. Sitting in Colorado Springs, greatest city for business in America. What's there not to love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate to cut you off. It's our first episode in the studio, and I should have double checked before we got started, but I got to double check the audio. Got to make sure it's recording because that would suck if we did the whole episode.
Yeah, it would be. That would suck.
Yes, it's recording. All right, cool.
Okay, good.
All right, let's get back to business.
All right.
So how's business been for you lately?
No, I think business has been well. I have been through COVID. I've been absolutely sustaining where I was pre-COVID. As a matter of fact, we've onboarded a few more.
Nice.
And been gone outside of Colorado to do that. So this really opened up a new space for me.
Has in order to sustain, have you had to work harder just to sustain, or has it been about the same amount of effort?
Well, for me, it's been about the same amount of effort.
Sweet.
Yeah. I got a large footprint. So,
Yeah.
So I was kind of prepared.
Yeah. How big is that footprint? You're like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
Not old.
Dinosaur.
I meant its size of feet.
Way to try to grab that one back, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a dinosaur both ways.
Yeah, sure.
I proudly take on that moniker. I have nearly 23,000 people that follow me on social media. Who knows what a footprint? I don't know how you can measure that, but very few people in the business community of Colorado Springs that don't know who I am.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I realized that right when I first got here.
Wow.
You were one of the first people I met, actually.
I know, it's incredible.
I went to Power Connector, I seen you talking, and I was like, this dude's energy is so awesome, I gotta go up and talk to him.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And like, I was just like, I knew you were someone I needed to talk to, and the next thing I know, we're doing a video together, and
and it got great traction.
Yes.
You did such a wonderful job in that. So I'm so proud to really be a part of your movement and what's happened with you since you've been here. It's so cool.
For sure.
It's so awesome. Yeah.
It's been an amazing ride.
It has been. Well, you're an amazing rider.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I know when we had you on the second episode of this show, you talked about your journey, like starting out a little bit. Do you mind touching on that a little bit for this episode as well?
No, whatever you want me to do.
So where does Frank begin?
North Carolina, 1956.
Okay, that sounds accurate.
That's where I started. That was the beginning of Frank. So I don't know which iteration you're referring to.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was talking about the origin, And,
Yeah.
And so when it comes to business, where do you begin?
Well, business has always been a passion of mine. Even when I was in the Air Force, my first leadership role in the Air Force was when I was 19 years old.
Oh, nice.
So I saw early that leadership was something that I was created to be in and created to be a part of. So that was obviously I didn't know what I was doing. Sometimes I still don't.
For sure.
But back then I really didn't. So several things have changed along the way, but I've always had two really passionate loves. Number one is people. I absolutely, genuinely love them. And secondly is business. So connecting the two became a lifelong passion of mine.
And businesses aren't anything without people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, some people seem to think that, but that's simply not the case.
Yeah, no,
You're
for
right.
sure. Yeah. I guess there might be certain businesses that might be able to operate without people, but I don't see how that works. Because people, like the reason you have a business is because you sell products or a service, and you need people for those products or those services.
Right.
And I'm trying to like rack my brain right now of like how you can have a business without a product or service, and I don't think that's possible.
Me either.
Yeah. Like I guess living off the fat of the land. That's a way to do it.
Good way to phrase it. Yeah.
You can isolate yourself in the mountains somewhere, and you can be a lone wolf, I guess.
Yeah.
But that you won't be in business then. I guess you're in business for yourself.
Right. Or you're getting the business. I don't know if you are in business.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you think has been some of your greatest lessons in business?
Oh my, that one lesson that I suck in a lot of areas of business. It's one of the lessons I've learned. I think the most important lesson I've learned, Andrew, is that business isn't about me. And once that began to sink in, and I realized that the outcomes, it's about the person that I'm serving. And once that became a touch point in my life, that I realized the pressure was taken away, because it wasn't about my outcomes or how much money I was going to make or how well I looked in that time frame. It was about serving my community.
For sure.
So I think that's the greatest lesson I've learned.
What was one of your first businesses?
One of my well, I've gone down the multi-market, direct marketing path many times. Never succeeded. Yeah, MLMs.
I had someone reach out to me yesterday talking, and like what's crazy is I called it before he was giving a speech, and like you can just feel that it's an MLM like about 5 sentences into their spiel, I guess. One of the key indicators of it being an MLM is like, would you like to make extra money on the side? Like that's one of the first questions. Like that's a big red flag for me for MLMs. And I guess MLMs can be good, but from my experience, I don't see they usually don't seem. And I don't want to trash talk MLMs because
I don't think we should trash talk them, because people have made millions of dollars. As a matter of fact, I would contend that regular business is in MLM.
No, for sure.
Because, right, there's someone at the head of making the most money. You have people in the middle that are making more than the people in the bottom, who are really the foot soldiers and the ones that are trying to enlist other people and are in the grassroots of the business. So
I think a lot of people get left behind, and it's just like there's an aspect of it where they're promising things that I think that are unrealistic for the most part.
Well, then that's an integrity issue.
Yeah.
It's not a structural issue.
And
so
what happens is like there's people with drive, and there's people who I think it takes advantage of vulnerable people. I think it can if the structure, like the main core of the MLM isn't right.
But don't you think normal business does that as well?
Not necessarily.
Why wouldn't you say that?
Because I'm not promising you a bunch of things.
Yeah, but you got 80% of people in regular businesses that aren't happy with their opportunity to contribute to that business or feel like they're engaged or that they're important there. So I believe I would argue that's the same thing.
Okay. Nice. Well, the one thing I do like about MLMs is they were my entry into entrepreneurship.
Hey, me
So-
too. Me too.
So that's-
whether you like them or love them, I like
Yeah,
them
yeah.
or despise them. I think it's irrelevant. I just don't want to put down an industry.
Yeah, and
that
that's
is
not what I was
really
trying to
doing
do
great
either.
things.
You know?
Yeah, I
'Cause
know you're not.
I just feel that there's it could be easily taken advantage of people who are, you know, gullible, I guess.
That was not a put down at all. That was like the incredible endorsement there.
Well, show me an MLM that's good. Maybe we'll talk about that. I'll have to get someone on an MLM on the show.
There you go.
And then we can have a real conversation
I got a
on
perfect
that.
person for it. Let me know.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, they make a few
Fantastic.
$100,000 a year every year.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's the touch point of their lives, and they're an incredible human. They really are. They
For sure.
really, really want to help other people. So, yeah.
Yeah, see, there's definitely some good.
Yeah.
There can be some good.
How do we get into this? You know, you can't lay it down, can you? Let's move to the next point. of your
Yeah.
interview.
Let's go. I was just about to actually.
I love this guy.
All right, Frank. Tell me, where do you want to go with your business?
I want my business to be internationally known. Not, once again, not for my sake, but for the sake of the modality that I'm in and what I value, I believe that I bring to other human beings.
What is that value?
We help people find out who they are.
Okay.
And I think once you find out who you are and you follow the natural progression of your story, your purpose unfolds. And when your purpose unfolds, then you get into stuff what you were created to be in.
Nice.
And that's an incredible, energizing space.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah.
So you've had some clients who you've helped do that. Then
I
take it.
have, yes,
Nice.
absolutely. And some that I am helping to do that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's not an easy road. It's an incredibly painful road because you have to self-reflect and take the pain points of that journey into consideration and see where they become the impetus for your movement.
So what does that look like? What are some of the things you do to help them find out who they are?
Well, I insist on honesty on both sides of the table. So if a person is honest enough to talk about their journey and they're willing to revisit that part of the journey, then we can help them see how incredibly beneficial all that hurt was. And when you can do that, then you stop taking on the failures yourself. It just is.
Yeah.
It's business, right? Right? So stop internalizing that, shaming yourself, guilting yourself, even in those moments when you're not doing so well. That's part of your journey. Man, it's incredible when that unwraps and that light comes on and people say, yeah, it's just business. It really is. And all of us experience all of these discouragement bumps along the way. Every one of us. We are I can't say fraternity, but we are a group of failures realizing that together on our way to our success. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think humanity as a whole, right?
Yeah, all of humanity.
Yeah, definitely.
Every stinking one. I don't care where they live or how much money they have or any of those outside measurements that we like to look at and measure ourselves and compare ourselves with. They're still failures.
For sure.
And they're probably still failing because none of that stuff is really the hallmark of success.
I think I secretly like failing. I think I love it. It's maybe masochistic, I don't know. But
Could be.
yeah. So let's go back to that footprint we were talking about. How you've been able to have a big, huge footprint in Colorado Springs. What do you think has been like some of the ways you've been able to? Because I think that's like having you on the show. One thing that might be a question people might be wanting to know, like how were you able to do that?
Well, first of all, my first year in business, here was, you know how people have business plans? Here was mine. My first year, I just want to connect with any and everyone I can in this city, see what kind of value I can create in a small conversation without any expectation of making money.
Yeah.
So that was my first year business plan. I wanted to be the best connected small business guy in this city. And I said in year 2 and 3, money will start falling out of that because I've gained trust and all the things that you need.
No, for
So
sure.
that was my business plan.
And what were some of the things you were doing to
I was going to
reach
every
that?
stinking networking group I could find.
Yeah.
I was joining every chamber that I could put money behind to be a part of. I was taking out my car. Anyone that would call me, I would meet with them.
Nice.
Any phone that rang, I would answer.
Nice.
That first year, you can ask my wife, man, I was all over the place.
Yeah.
I really was, but I gained the footprint of someone that cares, that gives sacrificially, and without any expectations.
Yeah. No, that's the way to do it. Give it without expectation.
Yep.
And that means not I give this you now and maybe we'll do business down the line. But that's like real giving without expectation is not even expecting that.
No, I wasn't even expecting that. I was expecting the business to fall out of that, but I didn't go to any meetings saying it was going to fall out from Andrew.
No, definitely.
I had no idea where it was going to fall from. I just believed that philosophically, I believed that in my heart that that's what the givers actually get.
Yeah.
So
speaking of networking events, how you have started a few, I think, right?
I have, yeah.
And I was just that's going to lead to where I'm at right now with a question I'm trying to conjure up right now that I can't get out of my mouth. But so where do you find these networking events when you're first starting out?
Oh man, asking people. Now, where are you networking? What are you doing? Where can I find these kind of things? Just ask. Once you get, people are so ready to tell you, to link you to groups and things in this city. It's like
definitely
amazing. And then Gary Rollins Gary had the brainchild of Front Range Power Connectors, and I was on the initial team of developing that idea of networking and having a space where we can mentor other networkers in this city and help them move forward. So now a list goes out every month of basically every major networking group in this city.
Yeah, that list is amazing. That helped me out tremendously.
Yeah.
See, I met Brandon Kirk, and he was like, I got to get you on this list, and like that helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
And so that's cool that you guys have that list. So I had a question and I lost it, so I'm stuttering.
Okay.
So I'm stumbling.
You'll get it back.
Yeah, it'll come back. I think I remembered it. Yeah, right when you said that. I know when I first went to like my first networking event, I was nervous. I was scared to go. It was actually Power Connectors. And there was 100 of them. I mean, 100 people.
Yeah.
So it was exciting. So how did you feel when you were first going to these networks? I remember sitting in my car like, I don't know if I want to go in. I almost left.
Yeah. Same way you feel.
Yeah.
I felt the very same way. I went in. I didn't know very many people or anyone at all. Sometimes I went in. I was very cautious about meeting people, feeling like I wanted to say everything perfect and etc. And overzealous about my business, handing out cards like we were playing cards, and doing that thing. So I did everything that a typical person does in their first networking experience.
They don't understand or you typically don't understand. You got to talk to people first, not just walk up and be like, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card.
Right. In this environment you do, in this culture in Colorado Springs you do, with some notable exceptions, but most people really just aren't interested in you vomiting the core of your business all over them. They're interested in getting to know you, and as that develops, then we can talk about the possibilities of doing business together.
One of my mentors have taught me was if you become interested in someone, they'll become interested in you.
Absolutely. That's the way it works in humanity. Yeah,
definitely.
It does. Yeah.
So you got to become interested to become interesting.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. So I don't know if I have any more questions, man. I think I'm running out.
You were going to ask me about a book, I believe, weren't you?
Oh, yes!
I remember that.
My guy
That's
Frank.
what you brought me here for.
Yes. Frank has a book coming out. When is your book coming out?
October 30th.
October 30th.
Yeah.
And where can people find it?
On Amazon. It's there for pre-order right now.
Okay.
The electronic version is available right now. The paperback version will be released about 60 days after.
Oh, we can get the electronic version right now if we wanted to?
No, you can pre-order it.
Oh, pre-order it.
It
Okay.
drops October 30th.
Sweet.
The paperback will be January 1st.
And what's the book about?
It's called Dream Again, Lessons on Leveraging Your Pain. So
Okay.
I simply take people through a journey of my life. Every chapter segments a section of my life, and half of it talks kind of autobiographical about that. The other half talks about the pain lessons I've learned from that and how it propels my life forward.
I'm excited to read it.
Yeah.
Or if you get an audiobook, listen to it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. That's on the tab, too, for me to read.
Are you going to do the reading yourself?
I am going to do the reading.
Those are my favorite kinds of audiobooks, is where the author reads them.
Yeah.
And that's going to be exciting. And a lot of times, I don't know, maybe this will be a little note for you. A lot of times, like audiobooks, it allows an extra layer because you can do side notes. Like you're reading it and then like you have an idea, you can add that into the audiobook.
Absolutely.
And that's just like an extra piece of value that's not in the regular book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. Never thought of that.
Yeah,
But
you probably would have thought of it while you were reading it. But yeah, so your journey is amazing. It's incredible.
Thank you.
And I know like we want to save that for the book, like let people like give. So maybe you could give like a little cliffhanger for the book, get people an interest about like what's one part of the book that you think it would be that you might be able to recite right now.
Well, my I'm one of 15 children, number 2,
Nice.
first boy of 15 children in my family. So being raised in abject poverty in North Carolina, being raised in an atmosphere of segregation where our schools were separated as well, created some places of feeling like I was less than or not as good as other people. So as you read through the first chapter of that, and then we unwrap the lessons of that pain, it gives me an opportunity. That's why I feel so passionate about caring about people, about allowing them to show up as their whole selves and helping to propel that journey, because I didn't get that opportunity. I had to learn it. But unless I'd experienced that pain, I wouldn't feel as passionate about it as I do today.
No, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm leveraging my opportunities to make it an opportunity for others and also for myself in business.
Definitely. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So go check out the book. You do speaking. Chuck over here with the questions. Chuck just reminded me to ask you about your speaking career. You do speaking?
I am. I'm a keynote speaker, and
Okay.
from an inspirational point of view to businesses. So we speak on interpersonal stuff, making it hope, connecting and culture change, and curiosity versus cynicism. All those type of things that are blocks in humans' lives as they're trying to move forward and be the best that they can, especially when they're working in close quarters with other people and et cetera. So my plan is, I think it may have why Chuck wanted me to mention this, is that coaching, the book hopefully is going to be what propels my career in speaking further, because that's what I'd like to do mostly, and maybe maintain about 5 coaching clients, but I would like, because that's where the biggest reach is that the more people I can speak to.
So what does that look like? Are you going to have like companies paying you to come and speak to their employees and encourage them? Because you are the chief encouragement officer.
Yes. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Encouraged employee maintains a semblance of hope in his business and a hope in that platform that propels the business. You know, employees do one of 2 things. They either quit and leave, or they quit and stay.
Yeah.
And when you have employees that quit and stay, then your
That's bad,
business
yeah.
in bad trouble at that
Yes.
point, because they're not caring about your business at that time. They're simply caring about a check or whatever. And a predominant amount of people, a lot of people quit and stay.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the workforce, actually.
It is a big part.
And I think that technology is allowing us to be more freer, I think, in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's helping people be able to make a living off their passion, I think.
Yes.
And that's also what you probably help people realize with your coaching, is, finding out your purpose.
Yeah, because passion links to purpose. So the one, you can't exist without the other.
Yeah.
Because if you find a real passion, it has to become your purpose in life, and it's what energizes you to do it. And that's why your generation doesn't look at the money as a thing. Because you looked at a generation that looked at money as the main thing, right?
No, for sure.
And look how miserable they were, how absent they were from home, how disengaged they were from the family, how many insane situations they created interpersonally among the people that they knew in their own family life.
Yeah.
And your generation was totally unimpressed by that.
Yeah.
So now, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I applaud you guys for saying we're not going to do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, but it's also, the technology has allowed us to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Which
There's another side of that as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing that humans don't muck up. So,
Yeah. For sure.
To some extent. I think he has you again. And
oh yeah, do you want to talk about your homeless journey right now on this episode?
Well, we talked about it in the last episode. But, in summation for me, I didn't have much self-esteem. I didn't have much worth, and I was incredibly insecure. So even though I had a successful military career that I sabotaged, which led to me being homeless here in Colorado Springs and living in Acacia Park, right up the street here.
A couple blocks down.
My old crib. So that's where I was. But people, they say, "Oh, that's so sad." It wasn't sad. I was incredibly happy during my
Did you feel
homeless
free?
time. I felt free. The burdens, the expectations people had on me, all those things, and plus my background created a space in my head where I said, this makes perfect sense for me.
For sure.
Of course, hanging out with homeless people, what's up? So I just built my place in the homeless community and felt accepted.
Yeah, you obviously love people.
I do love people.
Because at every level you're there. You're there to love them.
I dug them, man. And here's the deal too: is 2 of my friends in the homeless community have PhDs. So if people think that your education is going to be the be all for your life and your career, I think that's insanity. Because and education's good, but that they got tired of the expectations of them, the burdens, the stress of trying to fulfill those, so they checked out.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the homeless community do that. They just simply check out because everyone's telling them that this is the panacea of big houses, cars, all the things that you have. Then they see how miserable we are. And they remember how miserable they were. Right? So that's very unconvincing to a homeless person.
No, for sure.
As they look at stuff and in the larger culture around them, and you're going to tell them that, this is accountability, this is what you need. Well, what's wrong with you then? Why aren't you happy?
Yeah, no, for sure.
There is an amount of freedom in that community.
Definitely.
For sure.
And there's also a lot of pain too.
Absolutely, but that's a human touch point.
No, definitely.
And that's why the book is what it is. Everyone can relate to pain. We can relate to past pain, present pain, and we're going to relate to future pain. Pain is a touch point in every human life. It always will be. So how are you going to leverage it?
Yeah.
Right? If you don't leverage it, then it becomes cyclical. And you go over it over and over again.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything else you'd like to cover?
I like to say that this guy rocks.
Thank you.
He's an incredible human being.
Appreciate that.
You know, man, and being able to know you and get to know you better as our journeys collide and coalesce together. It's been an incredible plus for me. So thank you. Your enthusiasm, your vision, and your being able to look forward and see some big stuff at just such a young age. And your journey was no joke either, my friend.
Yeah.
So, right?
No, for sure.
Right. Your journey was no joke either.
And it's those things actually, like, it's ironic a bit, but the pain kind of makes you better.
It does. It's not ironic at all. And I mean, just natural science, as Chuck would tell you that the struggle. A lady did a Zoom with me last week from North Carolina, and she tried to convince me if I used the word struggle that I was oppressing people. Now, if you're watching this video, young lady,
it stopped.
Oh.
Do you want to hit record on that again? It stops at 30 minutes. I'm going to have to fix that. It's in the back. It's a red button.
Red button.
The audio's still going, though, so we can continue to talk.
Yeah.
It's on the camera.
Not the camera.
Not the monitor. Let me get up real quick. No, it's all good. I'll show you where it's at. It's right here.
Oh, okay.
Boom. And we're going to have to figure that out where it stops, because for some reason it cuts off at 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But I gotta figure that out. Like I said, I like to go before I'm even ready.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. So we'll work out the kinks throughout the episodes.
Right. Yeah, I know you got it. So
Yeah,
I'm not worried about that.
So you were talking about someone was.
Yeah, this lady. She asked me to come on a call with her, and she said that if I use the word struggle, struggle is a word for oppression. Then she went to the dictionary, and then I showed where the dictionary showed that that's not necessarily the case. Too. Struggle has multiple meanings. But anyway, like a caterpillar struggles to get out of its shell before it becomes a butterfly.
For sure.
And if it hadn't struggled, its wings wouldn't be strong enough to fly. We see that all through nature, the struggle of everything to become truly what it was meant to be. And I think the butterfly is one of the greatest analogies on earth. It was a butterfly even though it looked like a caterpillar.
Yeah.
And that's true of humans as well. We may look like caterpillars now, but we're really butterflies. Yeah. And we're struggling to get out of the cocoon and to spread our wings and to be what we were created to be.
For sure. Yeah. And I think Gary Vee, he talks about, and I apologize everyone, I bring him up a lot on the show.
Yeah, but my son loves him too. So.
He talks about kind of you're worse off if you've been given everything.
You are. Look at the suicide rate.
Exactly.
Suicide rate and the teens that kill themselves, they come from affluent backgrounds. It's rare in this city, the #1 city in America for teen suicides, by the way. It's rare in this city to see teenagers from the South Side committing suicide, or from the underprivileged class in this city. Most of the ones that do come from the affluent neighborhoods. But
on a different note, just kind of like it's kind of connected to that. Like pygmy people, they actually are baffled and don't understand the concept of suicide.
No.
They're like, what? You guys, America, that's the place where people jump off buildings? What?
Shoot themselves and do all kinds.
Because they're fighting every day.
Every day.
So it's like a foreign concept to them.
It is a foreign concept.
So it's
in most undeveloped countries, suicide is not at the forefront. You go to the countries where you have wealth and you have affluence and you find suicide.
Yeah.
Because the struggle keeps people going.
No, for sure. Exactly, yes. Maybe that's why, it keeps me going.
Keeps me going.
Yeah. Sometimes I put myself in very risky situations, business-wise, and also probably not business-wise,
right.
But...
I don't even want to hear about that.
But I was referring to business. But yeah, so I guess this pretty much wraps up the episode, I guess.
Okay, that's a good wrap.
What I mean is, it keeps me like when I put myself in a risky situation, it drives me to make sure that. I don't know. There's something about it, some kind of magic that happens when you do that. It's not, comfort kills you. You know.
Yeah. Well, we were built for that. Mm-hmm. We were built, and that's why when you find a passion diminish in a culture, you will find a lot of negative stuff that goes with that. Mm-hmm. And because we have so much access and we have so much influence. Yeah, we don't have to struggle for stuff, so passion diminishes. Mm-hmm. The less struggle, the less passion.
No, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a correlation all over the place, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good spot to end the episode. It's been a good 30-minute long episode. All right, Frank. Check out Frank's new book.
Dream Again.
Dream Again.
Lessons on leveraging your pain.
It comes out October on Halloween.
On Halloween?
Yeah. Why'd you choose Halloween?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe but everyone pretending to be something else, I can pretend to be a best-selling author.
Hey! you can pretend it until it is.
Until it is, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Frank.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you, buddy.
All right. That's it.